When we started off 2017, I had a back injury from summer 2016, and I had been injured for 5 months already, and I was pretty pent up. I hadn't done any parkour besides maybe a couple flips in the basement, like one or two, nothing at all. I basically worked on editing and just played video games, but they finally actually released me from physical therapy about a month later. So this is February, and I decided to go to Cape Cod. When I went to Cape Cod, I trained hard, and I failed a lot, but it was still all fun. I stayed for about a week and a half, and then I left for Syracuse. And it was in Syracuse that I decided to film my first YouTube video. I had no YouTube channel, so I decided to make one. And it was really fun to make and just to move around again. This video is not up on YouTube anymore. I don't have that YouTube channel anymore. I put that style of video up on Team Soren, and I do vlogs. But it was still really incredibly fun to make and just move around again. I went back to Rochester, and sadly, I still had my back injury. They said, you know what, it's not really fixed because I was feeling pain, and I had to go back to physical therapy. But I decided to go to New York and visit some family. And I couldn't really do parkour, but I did a little bit because, you know what, I had to. Got some cool photos. It was all around a really fun time. And then when I came back, I didn't really do anything. Again, boring, you don't want to hear about that. Let's skip ahead about 4 months, I think. Yeah, 4 months. 4 months later, school, there was 3 weeks left, and I decided that I wanted to make an Instagram. And it was kind of a snap moment judgment, and I just made it. I don't know why. I had an Instagram before, but it wasn't a parkour Instagram. I never really thought about it, and I made it, and now currently I have 3,000 followers, and I'm doing pretty well there. Right then, I actually got released from physical therapy for real. No injury, and I went to New York again. And this time, I jumped all around. Again, I was pretty bad because I hadn't trained in over 4 months. And I would say it was pretty fun there. And then after that, I came back to Rochester for about 2 weeks. Then I left again for Cape Cod. And it was about a month earlier that me and my friend Noah decided to make a parkour team called Team Soren. And it was really cool. So when we went to Cape Cod, we really started building the foundation for Team Soren, because there was nothing really there. And we spent, I think, 4 months just having fun. 4 weeks just having fun. It was crazy. We jumped all around. We did all this stuff. We trained. I started getting back to the place I was. And we finished a lot of stuff for that. Then I left for Africa. And he actually left for Ireland at the same time. So it was perfect. I left for Africa, and it was great. It was amazing, and definitely life-changing. When I went there, I don't know, it was just amazing, and I did a couple jumps, but I was still taking it relatively easy as I had been before. But when I came back after about 12 days, me and Noah, he came back from Ireland at the same day practically, and there was about 2 weeks until I went back to Rochester. It was pretty fun. We just did what we did. We jumped around. We made videos. You can look on my Instagram and see. We just did that basically. But then I went back, and again I kept training up until October when I went back to Cape Cod again. And we were training, and I'm like, oh, my knees hurt. And I'm like, you know what, it's probably nothing. And a couple weeks later, I'm like, dang it, they still hurt. And I think it was 2 months later, I'm like, okay, I should see a doctor. And they were pretty full, so I came back a month later. And by that point, people had told me everything. Jason, Paul had told me, you could be there's not enough muscle. Some people were saying, you're damaged from your landing. And I'm like, I didn't really know that. There was no clear feedback. And then I went to the doctor and got the best news ever. It's growing, my growth plates. and which means I can do parkour, and I'm so grateful. I went back up to Cape Cod again, and when I went back to Cape Cod, I trained a lot because all my parkour was again gone, but I trained a lot, and I'm almost back to the spot I used to be at. And after that, I went back to Rochester, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna keep training really hard, but the temperature did not agree with me. It is like 0 degrees outside right now, so we're training like in trampoline parks and stuff, but you know, can't really do much there. They're like, no doing this, no doing that, and that's currently how it's gone. That's 2017, and I will say there have been many good things and many bad. I was injured for 9 months out of this year, but I started my YouTube, my Instagram. I traveled all over the place. Yeah, if you know my New Year's resolution on my Instagram, it's actually to not get injured. But yeah, tell me how your 2017 went. As you can hear, you just heard mine. Leave in the comments how your 2017 went, and bye.